Hi, Keegan. How are you?
Doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What have you been doing for this past, 13 years?
13 years. I mean, I
Yeah.
stopped shaving.
Yeah, I see that.
Well, it's different. It's been a while, but I'm very happy to see you.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to have this conversation with me. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Happy to.
Yeah. So, like, we met 13 years ago, and I never thought to talk to you again, and especially for this reason, baseball.
Yeah,
How,
it's amazing. It's amazing,
yeah.
especially where we met in Nova Scotia, where baseball is not the big thing at all. It's
Yeah.
where people do hockey, So we, but I'm very glad that we both found our way in this. This is amazing.
I know I remember it wasn't very popular, and it's pretty funny. I mean, how did you get involved in baseball?
I always loved baseball growing up. Even living in Canada, I was never much of a hockey guy, which is, I can't say that too loud in Canada, I don't think. I'll get people upset with me, but I always loved baseball. I grew up watching a lot of the Blue Jays, a lot of the Boston Red Sox as well. And writing was also, always a passion of mine. It wasn't until I was in my 20s that I decided to kind of combine the two of those. But I've always enjoyed storytelling. I've always enjoyed baseball, and finally, I've been very happy to find that little overlap where I get to do a bit of both. But it's such a joy to be able to go to the ballpark and call that my office. And now that we're finally in Major League Baseball, back into some stadiums for the first time in a while, I've been covering a lot of baseball from my couch, which is not nearly as fun. But this week I'm here in Buffalo, New York, with the Toronto Blue Jays, and it's so great to be back with fans in the stands and seeing live baseball.
And how did you accomplish that? I mean, being the Blue Jays reporter for the majors, I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was an interesting path. I studied in my university studies. I studied English and writing, just very general writing. But I do love journalism and reporting. So I did go into journalism following my undergrad degree, and specifically into sports journalism. That's always where I wanted to be. And knowing baseball was my one passion, that is where I wanted to end up. Now, this would have been 2016, I think, right after the Blue Jays had their playoff runs, or 2017. They haven't won since I showed up. I might be bad luck. I think that might be what they're dealing with. But 2017, I suppose, I would have started an internship with MLB.com. After that, for a while, I went out on my own and started a website of my own called Baseball Toronto that I ran for a few years. And then in 2019, a couple of years back, I returned to MLB.com. I signed with Major League Baseball and have been with them since. So it's a joy to do. Get to do a lot of different things. It's whether it's something like this, or if we're doing TV, radio, every day at the ballpark, writing stories and podcasts. So it's a lot to keep me interested, a lot to keep me busy in the middle of the baseball season, as you know as well as anyone. But it's been an interesting path, but happy I ended up here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you're doing that good. You're a rock star now, man. How does it feel talking about COVID? I mean, it has been a couple of difficult years. How does it feel, the environment in the park, now that the people don't get to go like they could before?
Yeah, it's amazing because for me, normally, I would be at Rogers Center in Toronto and there would be 40,000 people. And I am just kind of have my head down writing my story. And I don't really notice it anymore because when you're at the ballpark every day, you're used to hearing people yelling and screaming. It becomes normal, even though there's nothing normal about it. It becomes very normal. But after a couple of years away from that, even being here in Buffalo, and I can see a bit of the stadium outside my window there at the hotel right now, there were maybe 5,000 people in the stadium. And the first time there was a cheer, I thought, oh my God, that it jolted me. It was amazing. I'll remember that forever. But they're certainly loud. They are happy to be back in the ballpark. So the fans who are there are great. Here, the Blue Jays will be expanding to maybe around the 10,000 range in the next few weeks.
Okay.
A lot of stadiums are full. A lot of stadiums will be up into that 30 and 40,000, which for me, coming from Toronto in Canada, where everything has been pretty locked down for a while, I've only seen a couple of friends, recently. So for me to see 40,000 people is pretty wild. It's been a long time. I think the last game I had covered in person was September of 2019, up until this week here in Buffalo. So it's been a while, but you can tell people are happy to be back.
Yeah, I mean, we actually didn't have baseball in Mexico last year. The Mexican League was canceled. And this year, here in Campeche, where I'm from, where the Piratas are from, they are playing with closed doors. I mean, they have no audience this year, even though they're playing. Yeah, I mean, we actually didn't have baseball in Mexico last year. The Mexican League was canceled. And this year, here in Campeche, where I'm from, where the Piratas are from, they are playing with closed doors. I mean, they have no audience this year, even though they're playing.
Which is tough because those are the best baseball fans in the world. When you look at the Mexican League and the winter leagues, when people say, when they talk about like major league stadiums as being the wildest crowd you'll ever see, I say, no. Look at, when you look at, even in the Korean League, the Japan Central League, so many of these professional leagues around the world, the fans are so incredible and so attached to their teams in a way that I don't think people appreciate in Major League Baseball. So that's got to be really quiet in the Mexican League stadiums.
Yeah, we are even louder than North Americans.
Oh, yeah.
Believe me. So, and how do you perceive, talking about Mexican and Latin baseball, what do you think about the quality of the baseball here?
I love talking to major league players who I work with every day who go to play winter ball or who spend time in the Mexican League and asking them what's that like compared to college baseball or minor league baseball. And the first thing they say is, oh my God, it is so loud. And the fans and the stadiums and the things that they have never seen before, the horns and the instruments. And I have never heard anyone say a bad thing about coming down to play in the Mexican League, or whether it be Dominican, Puerto Rican, Venezuelan winter leagues. It's always such an incredible experience for this guy. And I wish that more would. 20, 30 years ago, even star players would go down and play in these leagues, which was a great way to show more people the best baseball players, grow the game, but also for these players to continue playing through the off season. And I love any chance I get, especially in the off season when I'm away from the Blue Jays, to catch some of the winter ball leagues, or the odd time that I can catch a Mexican League game. It's such an exciting style of play. And we talk so much about trying to make the game more exciting to watch and trying to fix baseball. That's the answer. Make it fun, make it loud, make it cool. And that's all I see when I watch any of the Latin leagues. And we see that with so many of the great Latin players in baseball. That's one of the most exciting things now with Guerrero, Acuna, and Tatis at the top of the league. These guys are the star of the show. And it's one thing I want to do. That's on my baseball bucket list, is to get to some Mexican League games. So you'll have to make sure I know which stadium is the loudest to go to. Yeah,
you actually can see about the Latins that they have like this little flavor that makes
they do
like you're moving different,
No, there's nothing boring about it. It's what makes it really good. Yeah.
And actually, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is doing great in the team, right?
Mm-hmm. He has been amazing. Right now he is playing like an MVP, which is not the case the first couple of years. You see guys like Acuna, like Tatis, like Robles come into the league, and at 20 and 21, they were amazing right away. And that didn't happen for Vladdy, even though he was supposed to be the next big thing in all of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And that disappointed a lot of people, because not only was he the top prospect, but he has that name, Vladimir Guerrero, which means a lot,
Yes.
Especially in Canada, where many fans watched him play for the Montreal Expos. Like, Vladimir Guerrero is a hero in Canada in baseball. And this year, Vladdy lost some weight, which he needed to do. He got in shape and took it very seriously. All credit to him. And he has been amazing. He looks just like he looked in single A and double A as a prospect. And at the start of the season, you had to wonder, well, is this just a hot streak? What's going on? And every night I go to the ballpark and he does something different. And even I am running out of ways to describe it. You know, you can only say he is good, great, amazing, fantastic. I'm running out of words, and we still have a lot of ball games, so I need to catch up. But he has been the story of the season, really, for the Blue Jays.
And what do you think that the future is for him in the with Blue Jays?
I think he has an incredible future ahead, and the biggest part of that, I think, has been his defensive shift, because when he was playing third base, it didn't work. It wasn't pretty. Nothing about it was good. And even when he moved to first base last year in the 60-game season, it was pretty rocky sometimes. So there was this conversation about, well, even if he hits, he's not very good defensively, and you don't want a designated hitter who is 22. You want him in the field. But this year, he's been playing very good defense. He has been dropping down into the splits, which I don't understand, and making some great scoops, great hands at first base. So when you combine all of that with his fitness, you can start to see how he will age better now. Because when Vladdy was bigger, up with his weight up at 270, 280, you look around baseball at a lot of examples of bigger players who don't really play that well into their late 20s and 30s. Their bodies start to break down a little quicker, knees, hips, things like that. But now that he's in such good shape and playing so well all around, the Blue Jays have to start thinking of, man, how do we keep this guy around for good? Because he has been one of the best, and maybe the best hitter in all of baseball this year.
Well, yeah, he's actually the leader in home runs, right?
Yeah, he's the leader in almost everything at this point. Yeah. It's been amazing. That home run race, I think, will be one of the most fun things in baseball this year.
That's pretty good. And what about you? What do you have any plans for the near future?
I'll be with the Blue Jays here in Buffalo for another couple of days. Then I'll be with them at Fenway Park next week, and then back in Buffalo for a little bit. So just like the Blue Jays, I am going week by week trying to figure out where I'll be. Hopefully we will all be back in Toronto at some point this season, maybe in July, August, September. We'll see. Maybe that doesn't happen until next year. But it's great to be back with the team on the road a little bit now. And ideally, I'm back at the Rogers Center in downtown Toronto, down the street from my apartment soon enough. But I never thought I would be covering Major League Baseball in Buffalo. But it's been a strange year, and this is just another part of it.
Well, whenever you want, you can come to Campeche, and maybe we could watch a baseball game here
I would love it.
And have a beer. What do you think about that?
I'd love it. Maybe two.
Okay. Thanks a lot for your time. Have a good day.
Thank
See ya.
you. See ya.